This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. See, basically, when you will get this target principal name is incorrect means whenever you are connecting your SQL remotely. So, for example, okay, so this is actually your server, like HOE SQL 195. This is actually your SQL where you install the publisher, where you install distributor. Okay, so when you are accessing SQL from this machine, you never get the target principal name is incorrect. Okay, so when you will get means, so for example, if I wanted to connect this SQL server in different server, it can be your local machine, it can be any remote, sir, any remote. Okay, then you will get this error called the target principal name is incorrect. That is a one case means when you are connecting SQL remotely that time. And one more is if your SQL is running with local accounts, you never face this issue. Okay. So if your SQL is running with service accounts, then you will face this issue. These are the two major cause. Okay. Why you will get the target principal name is incorrect. One is when you are connecting SQL remotely. One more is if your SQL is running with the service accounts. And if you not properly register SPNs. Okay. For every for server name, for the server name, for service accounts, there will be SPNs. Okay, most probably, what we can do, right? Uh, I will involve your batch also today evening. So today evening, I'm going to discuss the same concept to the previous batch in depth. Okay, in depth. So you can try to attend today evening at 7:30 p.m. IST. Okay, so same concept in depth I'm going to discuss. What is SPN, how to see the SPNs, how to register. Okay, if you not properly registered the SPNs for server or service account, you may get a chance, most probably you may get a chance. Okay, the target name principal is incorrect. When you are connecting SQL remotely, okay, that is the first case. When your SQL is running with service account, and you not properly registered SPNs. These three may cause the target name principal is incorrect. If you not properly register SPNs, if you're connecting SQL remotely, if SQL is running with service account, you may face this issue. Got it now, everyone? No worries. For your batch also, we'll discuss a lot about this concept in depth. Okay, it's not a easy, but try to understand the logics here. Don't make wrong decisions. It may leads again the same issue if you take the wrong decisions. Okay, what you need to do when you see that the target name principal is incorrect. For example, means okay, first open the command prompt on the server on the same server. Okay, and go and run. Okay, one second, sir. Let me close. Go and run spn set spn hyphen capital L server name. Okay, for example, HOE is equal 195. So open the command prompt, and before that you need to verify whether your SQL is running with the NTLM authentication or Kerberos authentication. Just you need to copy the script. Okay, just you need to copy the script. Okay, and run whether your SQL is running with NTLM authentication or Kerberos authentication. So when your SQL is running with NTLM authentication, what you need to do? When your SQL is running with Kerberos authentication, what you need to do? That is how you need to make the decisions. Okay, here. That's what. Again, you need to contact your Active Directory team to set the SPNs. This is the first step we need to do once you install the SQL Server. Okay, but most of the people will won't follow the some best practices. SPNs need to be registered once we install the SQL Server. Who will register? Your Active Directory team will register. Okay, so here nothing. You need to run this command. Okay, verify whether it is running with NTLM authentication or Kerberos authentication. If it is running with NTLM authentication, make sure that your SPNs need to be properly registered at server level. Server level. So when you run set SPN space hyphen L server name, okay, these are the two SPNs you need to mainly focus. MS SQL SVC slash server name dot fully qualified domain name. And one more is fully qualified domain name colon 1433. If this is the not format you are able to see on your mission, then what you need to do, you need to copy these two SPNs which not properly registered, and what you need to do, you need to write a script called SPN set SPN space hyphen D and the properly not registered SPNs, and tell to your Active Directory team to delete these SPNs and to recreate the SPNs with this format. So better, I can give you one more suggestion. If you are having 2012 any other server like which are already running and you are not facing any issue, go and verify that server SPNs how they registered. Okay, follow the same strategy for this server, but you need reboot. So once you delete or once you set the SPNs, you need to reboot the server, not SQL. Entire server you need to reboot. Make a note, everyone. Okay, so just verify once SPNs are properly registered or not. Okay, one with fully qualified domain name, one more with your port number. SQL Server port number. Forget about REST. We are not focusing on anything on REST. These two are the SQL SPNs. Getting? So what you need to do? Set SPN space hyphen L server name. Verify whether this is the how the format is. If the same format, if uh, sometimes even if the same format, sometimes you will face this issue. Okay, you can do one thing: delete and recreate the SPN sometimes. Okay, it will work. It will work. That is a case our SPNs mostly when we are troubleshooting. Okay, sometimes even the SPNs are properly registered. Sometimes we face this target principal name is incorrect. So just drop and recreate the SPNs. Getting my point? So I hope this is not new server for you, right? Yes, because it's 2012. It's a old server. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, no. Hmm. Are you there? Okay. Okay. Are you are on mute? Okay. It's not old server, right?
Yeah, hi Subbu sir. Please tell me.
Ah, no, it is not old
Actually,
server, right? It's a new server.
no, actually, publisher is 2012 R2, and
Okay.
distributor is on the same publisher. Subscriber is 2016.
Okay, I got that point. Why suddenly you were able earlier you were able to access this server?
No, like remotely we cannot. I only if I RDP into that servers,
Ah,
right? Then
okay.
only I can connect. But remotely I am
Okay.
not getting. And not only for this particular
Yes.
server, I have like few servers among 180 plus servers, 4 to 5 servers. We face this issue whenever we connect to
Yeah.
the
This
subscriber.
now you got it right. So if your SQL is connecting remotely, if you are running with service account and if you not set properly SPNs, you may face this issue. The target name principal is incorrect. Not only for SQL, sir, you may also face the issue for analysis service. You may face issue for reporting services. You may face issue for mostly integration service, no, but reporting services, analysis services, you may also face this issue. The target name principal is incorrect. So when you are trying to connect to the SQL server from remotely, not local, again, you never face this issue if you are connecting from local. So make sure that
Yes.
uh, this is your service account. Okay, just compare one or two servers which are running already in 2012, and whether it is running with NTLM or Kerberos authentication. Okay. If possible, I will share
Yes.
this document in WhatsApp. You can just keep it reference,
Okay.
okay? For time being.
Yep. Yeah, please send. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Or else I can do one thing. I will add the block here itself, okay? This is our block. Now, just yesterday itself we created. Okay, we'll make more content on here itself, so that you can go and see the references from here itself instead of sharing to individually everyone. It's very difficult for us. Okay, we'll make couple of blocks here, couple of more important content here, so that you can keep it as a reference whenever you are struggling or facing some issue. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Any questions before we go and start? Okay. No, sir. Actually, we discussed a lot about internal concept. Okay. Uh, so we discussed about architecture. We discussed about page storage architectures like page extents, different types of pages. Only three pages are pending that we'll discuss in the respective concept. And we discussed about the internal concepts like clean page, dirty page, asset properties, checkpoint, lazy writers, eager writer. That is till now we discuss about core internals. Let's start today. Install the SQL Server, because from tomorrow onwards we'll go for uh, half of the session will go for theoretical, and half of the session will go for practical, so that you can understand what we are doing in the entire SQL Server. Again, base concepts are very important, to try to understand the logic behind. So now, before now today concept is how to install SQL Server. Okay, as a DBA, you must and should know about installation, sir. Everyone, either it can be SQL or Oracle or MySQL or PostgreSQL or Amazon Aurora or Cosmos DB, any database management system or any tools are like Java, Python. Okay, so C, C++, take any language, take any database management system. As a as you are a developer or you are a DBA or you are a some application support, you must and should know how to install the product. Without installing, it's very difficult to access the product, and without installing you cannot create or alter, nothing you can do. So installation is the one of the major activity we must and should know. Today I'm going to show you basic SQL Server installation. In our throughout our 60-day session, you will get it what are the best practices you should take care once we install the SQL Server. Means here two things, sir. Installation, pre-installation steps, post-installation steps. Installation, installation, pre-installation, post-installation. So before you perform the installation, what are the things you need to take care? Once you install the SQL Server, what are the things you need to take care? Both are very important as a database administrators. Let's focus on pre-installation first. Means uh, basically most of the cases you will get the ticket. Most of the cases you will get the ticket to install the SQL Server. So that you will technically, most of the people will call it as a build request. You will get one new build, SQL build. New build means new SQL Server installation. Either you will get the incident, okay, or you will get the work order, service request, SRs, okay, or you will get the change request. So depends on your project to project. Some people will create the incident, some people will create the work order, some people will create the service request, some people will create the change request. Okay, but you will get the tickets, sir. Mostly 99% you will get the tickets. Only that 1% someone may drop a mail. if you go and install the SQL Server on so and so instance, so and so instance. So once you got a ticket, once you got a mail to build the new SQL Server, to build the new SQL Server, to install the new SQL Server, what are the things you need to take care on your mind? That is very important. Yes or no? Yes,
Yes,
everyone?
yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, firstly, sir, before we straight away go into the installation, let's discuss a little bit a concept. Basically, in my laptop, I am already having three instance, three instance. So Subbu sir is always calling as a instance. What is instance? First, let me discuss about what is instance before we go and install. Instance. What is instance? Anyone? You can search in Google as well. Let me know what is instance.
So the instance means it's a feature like you can run multiple databases on the same host.
Okay. Any answers are acceptable. Either it can be wrong or right. Just open up your mouth. Okay.
A single occurrence, like an
Okay.
instance at that point of time, like instance, a single occurrence.
Okay. Any other answers?
Is a set of resources managing the data.
Okay. Set
No,
of
it is
resources.
nothing
Okay.
but an actually it is a collection of SQL Server databases running on SQL Server.
Okay. Collection of databases. Okay. Good. Any other answers? We have a lot of time, sir. No worries. Okay. Still 30 minutes is there. We'll discuss theoretical part 30 minutes. Then we'll installation won't take more time. Okay. It will just take less time. So almost all of you are nearby. Instance is nothing but collection of resources and memory management. Collection of resources. Resources is nothing but lot of binary files, sir. Okay, every product having lot of binary files. If you go into the C drive, okay, if you go into the C drive, if you go to the program files, you will see lot of binary files about respect to application, right? If you are installing PUBG, if you are installing video player, if you are installing audio player, if you are installing MS Office, if you are installing Oracle, or if you are installing SQL or anything, sir. Okay, whatever you are installing on your server, every application will contains lot of internal resources, nothing but a lot of exe files, lot of dll files, lot of supportable files, right? Yes or no, to run the product. Like same instance is nothing but collection of, okay, so collection of resources, lot of resources along with memory. That is how you will get a new concept, memory. Every instance, okay, instance is nothing but collection of .exe file. In a simple terms, SQL serve .exe. exe. So if you open task manager, if you open task manager, if you go to the details, are able to see, sir, SQL serve.exe, SQL serve.exe, SQL serve.exe, because in my laptop I am having different instance three different instance. Okay, so that's the reason you are able to see SQL serve.exe, SQL serve.exe, SQL serve.exe. If in your laptop, on you in your desktop or in your machine, if you are having only one instance, you will see one SQL serve.exe. Getting my point? everyone? So, sir, please just try to understand the logic. Instance is nothing but collection of SQL resources along with memory management. Because every instance will maintain its own memory. Every instance it will maintain its own memory. That's what we discussed last couple of sessions, right? Everything will perform in the buffer. Every everything will be performed in the buffer, right? Every instance will maintain its own memory manager, own memory. So if I'm having three different instances in my laptop, okay, internally it contains three different buffers because each instance will maintain its own buffer, because we are not guarantee how much memory you allocated to this instance. We can restrict, okay, you need to use up to only 5 GB, you need to use only up to 10 GB, you need to use up to only 15 GB. So how you are restricting the memory to this instance? Instance is nothing but collections, a collection of the resources, and along with the memory management, and everything you will perform in this instance only. That is nothing but your database engine. Main is our database engine. So forget about analysis, reporting, integration. This is our heart to the entire DBS, where you are going to create the databases, where you are going to perform all the business transactions in this database instance. So every instance will contains a exe called SQL server.exe. You can go and verify in the you can go and verify in the task manager, and every SQL server.exe will contain the process ID. Process ID. See, sir, every instance can you can see in the process ID. One PID will be allocated to this every instance. Now you may ask one question. So how many instance I can install in one server, Subbu? Maximum 50 instance you can install. Maximum 50 instance you can install. 50. One will be default, okay, and one will 49 will be named instance. So overall 50 instance you can install in one laptop, one desktop, one machine, sir. Why? Can you install MS Office twice in your laptop? Can you install MS Office twice in your laptop?
No, no.
MS Office is also Microsoft product only, right? Can you install Teams twice in your laptop? No. Can you install
No,
audio player or video player or PUBG, anything, sir, twice on your device?
no.
No, no. But there is a beauty of SQL, any database management system. You can install multiple in one server, one desktop, because every time when you are installing a product, every time when you are installing a product, you will specify the name. You will specify the name when you are installing the product. So for example, if you are installing SQL, if you are installing Oracle, if you are installing MySQL, you will specify the name. That name you can access from anywhere within your network, not globally, sir. Within your network, you can access anywhere with that specific name, whatever name you are specifying while you are installing the SQL. So how many instances are there? Two. Default, named. Sir, so try to understand, this is very important. Default is nothing but your server name, computer name, computer name. Whatever your computer name, okay, whatever your computer name, host name, okay, whatever your computer name, your instance name will also same. Default instance. Only one default instance for one server. Rest everything you can install named instance, like server name backward slash instance name, server name backward slash instance name. So how many instance you can install? 50 instance you can install maximum. So two instances are there: default, named. Default means your computer name. Named instance means computer name slash your instance name. Got you? What is instance? How many types of instance? How many instance you can install? Questions? So everyone must and should know, sir, whenever you are trying to connect to the server. So for example, you will receive the tickets, right? Whenever you are trying to connect to the server, what is the instance? If you are just simply getting this, mostly that is the default instance. If you are getting server name slash something, that is the named instance. By default, you should get one idea. If you are simply getting server name, that is a default instance. If you slash backward slash instance name, then you need to think, okay, this is my named instance. Question, sir.
In installation, it will take that name by
Yes.
default, or we will type that server name,
No, no. By
our
default,
computer.
if you go to the default instance, it will get the computer name. Okay. For named instance, you need to specify the name, ma'am. I will
Okay.
show you when we start installation.
Okay.
Okay. So when you see only this without backward slash, by default you will get idea. Okay, this is my default instance on so server. On so server, this is the default instance. If you're getting slash, if you're getting backward slash, then you should get one idea. On this server, it is a named instance. On this server, it is a named instance. Okay, not okay. Okay, now, no. Okay, so now, for example, sir, I am a application team and you are the DBS. Okay, I just dropped the mail to your team saying that, okay, can you please go on install SQL Server? I just drop a mail, hey, hi DBA team, can you please go on install a SQL Server? And I just left for the day. I just left for the day. So what you will do? Assume there is no ticket. I just dropped a mail. Think that I'm an application team, you are all the DBAs, and I looped your group and I just dropped a mail. Hey, hi DBA team, can you please go and install the SQL server? What you will do, sir?
Firstly, we
Sir,
will wait.
okay,
Firstly, we will wait. Why? Because since we have so many versions like Enterprise Edition, Standard Edition, right? So
okay,
we don't know what edition they need, and we don't even have the like license number. Since it's like the production or whether it might be development, like we can't use any
okay.
open source.
Version,
Yeah,
version,
version
very
and
good.
also the
Edition,
license number. Yeah,
edition,
edition,
okay, editions, license,
license number.
license, okay,
And also, just you mentioned we have to be careful with the instance name, whether it is like they need default instance or a named instance.
okay, instance name, okay. All are good points, sir, because we don't know. I just simply drop a mail. If I'm providing everything, you are good to install SQL Server. But without knowing this information, you can't go and proceed. And you remember I told you just install the SQL Server. On which server? I not mentioned, right? So firstly, you need to get the server name. First point, sir, server name. Server name. On which server I need to install, which version I need to install, which edition I need to install. Okay, based on the edition you will get the licenser, no worries on that part. Okay, and what is the instance, default instance, or mostly most of the cases will go for the default instance, no need to worry. 99% will go to the default instance. Okay, In case you wanted to install multiple instance on same machine, then you will go for the named instance. Otherwise, we'll go for the default instance. Mostly, sir. Mostly default instance. Okay. Server name, good. Version, good. Edition, license, instance name, okay. Still, what information you need?
Memory, like how much memory that server need to be allocated.
No, server is already created. Okay, mostly 80% we'll set it for SQL by default. We'll go for 80%. Don't deep dive into the features. Okay, that we'll discuss. Now, what features we need to install? Make a sense? Features we need to install. Features like you need analysis services, you need analysis services, you need reporting services, you need integration services, along with our database engine. Along with our database engine, you need analysis services, reporting services, integration services. Correct? What features we need to install? That is also very good point, sir. That is also very good point. Next. So mostly every project will follow its own standard. Again, I mean to say every project will follow one standard. Okay? Every project will follow one standard. Okay, no worries on that part. Every time you won't go and ask all this points to the application team. So whenever you got any build request, you know the your project standard, right? You will follow the same thing. In case anything additionally missing, they are not provided, then you will go and contact application team. Every time you won't go and contact application team, sir. Basically every project will follow a certain standards, that whenever you got the opportunity on that project, you need to ask a question when you are taking KT, so that they can help you what are the points, what are the suggestions they're making in that project. Okay, everything you will get it. You should make a note down somewhere. Okay, so please, sir, KT is very very important when you are got opportunity for any company, any project. First, you forget about SQL. Either you know or don't know, we are not worrying, sir. You should know about your project first, in and out, whom we need to contact. Okay, so where is our report? All that information I will explain in the ending, sir. No worries. Okay, so what features I need to install? That is also very very important. As a best practice, as a best practice, or SQL's our best practice. Data files, file locations. File locations also very important. Means data files need to keep in separate drive, log files need to keep in separate drive, tempdb need to keep in separate drive. This is the best practice you should follow in real world. You should not see how you are installing on your local laptop. Means everything we are keeping in the single drive. Everything you are keeping in the single drive on your local laptop. On your local laptop, you are keeping everything in the single drive. But in real world, not like that, sir. Your data files will be a separate drive, your log files in the separate drive, your tempdb in the separate drive, tempdb will in the separate drive. This is also very very important. This is also very very important point, sir. Very very important points. So file location, mostly binary files will go to the C drive, sir. All the SQL related binary files will go to the C drive. Your data files, log files, backups, tempdb will go into the not C drive, sir. It will go into the respective drive. Like data files will go to the, for example, data files will go to the G drive, log files go to the L drive, tempdb will go to the T drive, backup will go into the separate drive. So, for example, Z drive. Every organization will follow this standard. Okay, so mostly we never change this drive letters for every SQL installation. Entire your project will follow the same strategy. Okay, by default you will get, okay, in my project data files will go to the G drive, log files will go to the L drive, tempdb will go to the T drive, backups will go to the Z drive. Okay, getting my point? So location of your files, very very important, sir. This is very very important point. along with the version, edition, license, instance name, server name, what features we need to install, location is also very, very important. And one more is service account. Service account. Sir, installation is very simple. You need to just uh, copy the installation setup file, open, click on next, 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 next. That's it. It won't take more than 20 minutes to complete the installation. But these are very, very important, sir. You must and should know about this point. So service account is very, very important. Mostly in your every project, sir, mostly they will use one common service account, or every instance they will make a different service account. There are two kinds of service account they will maintain. One common service account for entire your project, or or every instance they will keep a different service account. Every instance they will keep a different service account. So service account is nothing but login, sir. Okay, don't get confused. What is the service account? Service account is nothing but login. You are using that login only to run the SQL services. To run the SQL services, not for anywhere, sir. So that account technically you should call it as a service accounts. You are going to use that account only to run the SQL services, not anymore. Nowhere, sir. You will use that account only to run the SQL services. SQL services. Mostly, every project having a separate portal, sir. Portal. You need to go and create the service accounts. It will take 1 day. 1 day, or uh, it won't take more time, but still it will take 1 day, because you need to create the request. That request need to pick from your active directory team. I will show you, sir, when we are discussing clusters. Okay, so while we are discussing clusters on always on, I will show you how to create the service account. Okay, what are the best practices you should follow on the service account? No need to worry. Okay, no need to worry, all we will see in the clusters live, or live demos. As of now, just try to understand the logic. When you are installing the SQL Server, you must and should need the service account. What is service account? Service account is just like a login, sir. Your login, but that account only you are using to run the services. That is nothing but SQL services. Okay, service accounts is very, very important. You need to create a request to the Active Directory team. This point is also you need to ask in the KT. Okay, while we are installing the SQL Server, what are the standard service account we'll follow? Whether we are creating a single service account for all the SQL services which we are maintaining, or every server we are creating a separate service account. So that you need to get it from the KT, sir, your project KT. Very, very important. So when you are creating service account, you should follow one best practice, sir. In my environment, in when I'm working in my environment, we are having different domains. Again, sir, these two core internals. Okay, the people who are listening first time, no worries. I will come back this concept again in clusters with the practical demos. As of now, no need to worry. Okay, the people who are already having experience, they can understand easily. You people just make a note. I will show you everything in a practical when we are discussing clusters. Make a sense, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes, yes, Subbu.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, sir. When you are creating service account, please make sure that domain is very important. So what you need to do, open the command prompt, open the command prompt. Okay. Uh, this is your server name, right? Okay. Ping server. Sir, here it is not part of any domain. You are not getting anything. You are just getting your server name, just your server name. But in real world, every server is part of domain. Domain. So what you will get it means, okay. So HOE SQL 45 dot NA dot, okay, com. This is your domain name. NA North America, EA Europe Asia, SA South America, AP, Asia Pacific. So we are having different domains here. We are having different domains here. So every server, maybe the server is part of NA domain, maybe the server is part of EA domain, maybe the server is part of SA domain, maybe the server is part of AB domain. We don't know, sir. Until unless you need to ping the server. Okay, so once you ping the server, you will get the domain name. So when you are creating a service account, when you are creating a service account, make sure that your service account should be part of same domain like NA slash XX SQL HOE SQL 45. This is my service account. We'll follow, sir. XS is the common SQL because it's a SQL, and this is my server name. So we'll follow this strategy for every installation. So every organization will follow different strategies, or we don't know how it will following. Okay, so whenever you need to raise the service account request, please make sure that domain is very important. Domain is very important. You no need to worry, sir. I will show you how to create the. You never get a chance to create the domain in real world, but we will try to create the domain. We'll try to create the service accounts with the practically no worries. Okay. So service accounts is very important concept. You must and should know, sir. So what are the important thing you need to remember? Domain name when you are creating service account. So by mistakenly you created wrong domain, again it is one more headache, sir. Your server is running with a different domain and your service account is running with a different domain, then it will make so challenge. Okay, make sure that your server, your service account should be same domain. Should be same domain. That is the one of the best practice you should follow. Come on, sir. Questions? Online people, are you there?
Yes, Sudhi.
Okay, so this is the one thing you should make a note down, sir. Service account is also very important. Location is also very important. Your data files, log files, dumpdb, where we need to keep, and service account is also very important. So one more concept you will get it newly. That is nothing but, sir, if you are maintaining a single service account, no worries, sir. It's not become more challenge. But if you are maintaining multiple service accounts, where you will place this all service accounts, sir? Where you will place all these service accounts and passwords?
Some repository to
Some
store all
repository.
things.
So most of the cases they will call it as a cyberark. Cyberark. Mostly, sir, 95% will use cyberarks. Some people will use Excel. Excel. Okay, some people will use Excel. Uh, Small projects they will use Excel kind of things to store all our service account passwords. But most of the cases we will use CyberArk. So you need to create one more ticket to register this service account to the CyberArk. You need to create one more request to register the service account into the CyberArk. Next time, if you want password to the service account, you can get the password from the CyberArk, not from Active Directory, sir. So you once you register this service account into the CyberArk, from next time onwards, you can get new password from the CyberArk. Every time, sir, when you are retrieving, it will get the new password from the CyberArk. Our login also, sir. Mostly nowadays, our logins also they are keeping in the CyberArk. More secure, sir. Every day when you go into the login, every day when you go into the login, we'll get the password, our passwords from the CyberArk. that passwords will expire in automatically after 8 hours. Our passwords, not SQL account, service account passwords, sir. Basically, our passwords will expire after 8 hours when you are getting password from the CyberArk. Okay, so this is also one of the concept you should remember. Okay, so creating the service account is one of the important task, and registering the service account to the CyberArk. These two are very important tasks, sir. Okay, not okay? Online people, are you there?
Yes, yes, Subbu.
Okay, make a note. Okay, so what are all points we discussed, sir? Versions, edition, license, instance name, server name, what features we need to install, where we need to keep data files, log files, DB, and backups. What is the service account? Okay, so when you are creating service accounts, domain name is very important. Once you create the service account, okay, then you need to register the service account on the CyberArk. That is also very important, sir. What else we need, sir? Still,
Subbu, authentication mode.
yeah, authentication mode, very important. Authentication mode. So no worries, sir. This part I will discuss in the security. As of now, just make a note down. Okay, that's what I told you, right? This is the basic installation today I'm explaining. We'll go standard installation when we are discussing clusters. Always on. Okay, so you will see real world experience, real world environment when we building the clusters on always on. This is our basic SQL installation, sir. As of now, this is a good for the who are starting, who are already experienced. Maybe this session will be get bored because you know all these concepts. Okay, no worries. We'll discuss best practices all in the clusters. So authentication mode. So we have two types of authentication mode. One is Windows, one is mixed. Okay, so which authentication mode? Mostly, sir, will enable mixed mode. Mostly we enable mixed mode. Okay, because for example, if you enable only Windows mode, later if you wanted to enable mixed mode, again you need to get the downtime. To get the downtime, it's very difficult in real world, sir. So couple of terminologies are new to everyone, the who are listening first time. No worries. Throughout our 60 days, we'll get to know all these terminologies. Okay. So try to enable mixed mode when you are installing SQL Server to avoid future downtime. To avoid future downtime, enable the mixed mode. No worries, sir. Whole this concept I will explain in the security. Very important feature. Very important. As a DBA, you need to protect your SQL Server. Okay. So when we are discussing security concepts, I will explain you about what is Windows mode, what is mixed mode. Okay. So when you are enabling mixed mode, you need SA account as well. SA account password. So this is very important. Still anything. One more is collation, sir. Collation. Collation is nothing but language. A language. Okay. Collation is very important, sir. Under which collation I need to install? By default, we'll go for Latin, sir. It's a English, okay. In case if your application team specially mentioning, you will go and change the collation. Otherwise, by default, we'll go into the default collation. Collation is nothing but language. Collation, authentication mode, SA password, service accounts, CyberArk. Yeah, these are the new concepts. Okay, still anything we missed?
Subbu, components to be installed, like Power
That's
BI.
what futures,
This
sir.
is our
Futures, futures. We discussed already. what features we need to install, like SSRS, Power BI, SSIS, analysis services.
And one more is standalone SQL and cluster SQL.
Okay, very good point. Okay, standalone installation or SQL on cluster. So no more SQL on cluster now. Now no more. You will get a chance to install SQL on cluster. Okay, most of the cases you will go for standalone. Okay, this 90% will do. This only 10% you, not 10%, or only 5% you will get. 95% will do these installations in real world. Only 5% you may get a chance to perform SQL on cluster. This also, I told you, right, sir, we will discuss almost one whole 1 week we will spend on clusters, always on different types we'll discuss, sir. Okay, uh, cluster on Windows Server 2016, cluster on Windows Server 2019. Okay, so all these components we'll discuss. No worries on that part. Okay, standalone SQL or clustered SQL. Yeah, good point. Still,
So go hardware and software requirements.
that we'll see,
You
sir.
already covered.
Well, no, that we not yet cover. We'll see what are the features, what are the components are very important. As if you wanted to install a product, what are the basic hardware, basic software you need, that we'll discuss separately. So this mostly, there are lots, are again, I told you, right? I will share you one document, what are the best practices you should follow when you are installing SQL Server. Okay, as of now, no need to worry, because this is the day one. If I'm explaining that concept, definitely most of the people will get confused. I will share at the end of our session, sir. Okay, if we go to here, I already prepared uh, SQL Server installation and best practices. Okay, so everything I cluster clear, I mentioned one document, sir. I will share this document, okay, to you. You no need to prepare. As of now, why I'm not explaining this component means is a default instance, named instance, what are the features, lot of other components, because uh, these components are very critical for us, very important for us. If I'm showing this one, I'm explaining, it's very difficult to understand right away. The people who are already starting the career, the people who are already having experience, they can understand. Okay, no worries, I will take a separate session. What are the best practices you should follow when you are installing SQL Server? Make a sense, everyone? Hope you are understanding, sir. So
Yes,
I
Can you
already
yes,
made
repeat
it.
yes.
I will share this
CyberArk?
document. Sorry.
Hello, hello.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Can you repeat CyberArk, please?
Oh, CyberArk. Okay.
What
Uh,
is
Basically, CyberArk will store all our logins and passwords. Basically, ma'am. Okay. CyberArk. In most of the organization, they are following CyberArk. Most of the
okay?
organization, they will follow the CyberArk. So basically, here two types of logins will place: our personal logins, service accounts. Okay. So it's very difficult to remember the passwords right nowadays, because too many servers, too many service accounts, it's very difficult to remember the passwords. So what we are making, instead of making everything in Excel, why can't we go for CyberArk portal? It's a portal, ma'am. You need to open the CyberArk portal. Okay, here. So for example, cyberark.org or something. You will open the CyberArk. So okay, I will take the screenshot and I will share it over WhatsApp group how CyberArk look like. Okay, so once you open the portal, okay, you will have the search window. You need to search with your service account. Okay, you will get your service account. You can get the password from there. Okay, and you need to register your new service account into the CyberArk by creating a separate request. Got it, ma'am?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
In my organization, it's a PAM. We storing the password in a PAM portal.
Okay, PAM portal. Okay, that's what. Uh, maybe different project. I told you, right? Different approaches,
Uh,
different projects. So please be careful. You know or you don't know about SQL Server. We are not worrying. You should know about the project infrastructure. Note down, ma'am. Everyone, sir, I'm requesting. Take a pen, take a paper, or take a notepad. Open OneNote. You need to note down everything your project in and out. You need to note down. Truly, sir, when I got opportunity in one of the top organization, only KT they given for 1 month. 1 month KT for us, and we almost taken 2 months to understand the entire my infrastructure. Almost we are having 18 tools. Forget about SQL. We are having almost 18 tools like CyberArk, okay, DDR4, DDR5, Kanban, okay, Oasis, Lambda, like almost we are having 18 tools we are using. All tools are very important for us. Forget about SQL. We need to know about entire your project first. So become stronger in project. So whom should we need to contact? Where we need to get the information? Who is the right person? If in case no one is available, whom to escalate? These are all concepts are very important, sir. What is the ticketing tool we are using? What is the backup tool? We are going to use BM's Remedy as a ticketing tool, Commvault Symphony as a backup tool, SCOM is a monitoring tool. For BM's Remedy and monitoring tool, uh, what is that tool? I forget. Long back, sir. It's 4 years ago. Okay, MookSoft. We are going to integrate the MookSoft. Okay, so project infrastructure is very important for us. Okay, so then that will become make you more stronger. That will make you more stronger when you are working in real world. So basically, as a DBA, you know, sir, you will take the backups, you will restore it, you will grant the permissions, you will work on the performance tuning, you will configure log shipping or mirroring or always on clusters, and mostly you will work on the performance tunings. In case corruptions, all this kind of work you will do. You know, sir, you can search in Google or somewhere. You can contact Subbu, you can contact anyone. You will get some ideas, but no one knows about your project. Whatever we are saying, okay, you need to go and do, you need to go and do that one, do this one, but maybe that is not compatible on your project. We don't know, sir. That you should know. So please make strong in project than SQL. So almost we spent 2 months to become stronger in project. When I just started, we are having only 8 DBS. When I'm just leaving the organization, we are almost 30 DBS in my project. I am not sure, sir. 30 DBS in one project. First time I am also worked with 30 DBS. And who is the application owners? And almost we are having uh, 15. We are having uh, almost uh, 200 to 200 to 500 to 700 applications. Okay, so we are maintaining almost 4,000 to 5,000 sequels, and almost when I'm just leaving, almost I'm having 1,500 servers I am the primary manager for this SQL servers. Out of this 500, 1500 servers I am made is under our control, my control. So you may also get this kind of opportunity. Okay. So if you're getting this kind of opportunity, take this as a great opportunity, sir, where you will learn very quickly. Assume you are having only 10 SQL servers in your project. Okay, you are just simply taking backups, restores, okay, and you feel that, oh, okay, my project is very cool. You would never learn, sir. Don't work this kind of project more than 6 months or 1 year. Just you need to get these kind of hard projects so that you can learn very quickly. Okay, in my projects, even freshers know how to configure always on availability group. Most of the people, even experienced people, don't know how to install always on availability group. Even that is the one great opportunity we got it when we just started my career. Even freshers, almost out of 30 people, 20 people are freshers, only 10 people are experienced. So, so you should get this kind of good projects, sir. Okay, so that you will learn very quickly. First, initially, first 3 to 4 months, it will be very hard seat. Okay, later on, that will make more easy, sir. You can stable in the project. First 3 months, work hard. Okay, that is what I can tell you to everyone. Okay, that's it. Yeah. Still anything we miss, sir? Sir, again, I will explain all the best practice later. As of now, no need to worry. I will update this entire document in our blog as well. Okay. So you should follow GitHub. You should follow our blog. You should follow our YouTube channel. Three things, sir. Okay. Three. Most of the information you will find anywhere, sir. In case I'm again encouraging you people as well, take opportunity for yourself. Okay, uh, make some uh, articles. I will publish on behalf of you. Okay, in case Poonam is working on so and so issue, and that is a new issue or old issues or anything, ma'am. Okay, you feel that that is very interesting point. Make one document, Word document, and share it to me. Okay, I will make some modification myself, or Sai will make modification, and we will upload in this in our blog. This is our blog, sir. Okay, and we'll
Sure.
make your name.
Is it released?
Sorry.
It is really block is released. I mean, you have started working or what?
Yes, I just created yesterday. Myself and
Acha,
Sai
acha.
just created yesterday. We are
Okay, okay.
just planning to make one first one best blog. Yesterday night itself we created. Okay, so that's what I'm requesting
Okay.
everyone. Okay, so not only SQL, going forward we'll bring the Azure data engineer as well. Okay, so we'll add Azure data engineer content here, we'll add SQL DBA content here. You no need to go and search here and there. There is one perfect block where we can get everything here. That is not one man show, sir. It's very difficult to me to make all this. Even I'm requesting old students as well for your batch as well. Okay, so I will make it this as a public video. The people who are watching this video, you can try to reach out to me. Okay, so my number or Sai number will be available in our YouTube channel. Anytime you can reach out to me, the people who are watching this session. Okay, so if you make some blogs, interesting blogs, try to reach out to me. We'll make here and we'll publish here with your name, not my name, your name only. Okay, so we'll tag
Yeah,
in your
sure.
LinkedIn. We'll tag it in your LinkedIn. We'll make you publish. Okay, that will make so easier to everyone, not only one. It's very difficult for one, sir. Assume if ten people are working, 10 people are working with 10 different issues, we can make 10 blocks at a time. Agree, not agree?
Yeah, great.
Make sure this as a habit, okay, everyone. Just simply if you are working for 8 hours and just logging off, it's very difficult, sir. Okay, throughout our journey, we'll forget. Okay, after 2 months, what last year, what troubleshoot you done? Definitely we'll forget. Agree, not agree?
Yeah,
Take
true.
take in a week, at least in a week, make one article. Okay, the people who are already interested for to making the article, I will create a separate group, WhatsApp group. Okay, so I will collect all the information. Myself and Sai will collect all the information and we will publish behalf of you. Okay, that will help you. That will help for others as well. Okay, maybe take this as a great opportunity for everyone. I'm just encouraging the people. You can make the videos, I can publish. You can make the blogs, I can publish. You can get the scripts, I can publish. Okay, so take this as a great opportunity for everyone. Just simply working like a labor in 8 hours in the project. Take this as a great opportunities. Okay, that's it, sir.
Sir, I have
Okay,
subscribed to this channel. Apart
yeah.
from this, you said some two other URLs. Can you please ping me the
One
blogs
is
and other?
GitHub. One is GitHub. Okay, one is GitHub. Oh, even GitHub also it is going to YouTube. No, 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 no. GitHub need to go to github.com/Azure SQL. Okay, this is the one thing. I am just making a best scripts in here itself. Okay, you can get it all the scripts from here. This is one thing. You can I will ping you in the WhatsApp group as well. Okay, and this is the blogger, our blogger. Everything is ours, sir, not mine. Okay, we'll make ours, not mine. I'm just encouraging everyone instead of simply walking. Okay, because uh, here I just decided to make the blocks of DBS. Also, I decided to make the blocks of data engineer. Okay, going forward. Okay, so just try to encourage everyone. Just make this as a habit. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. Everyone, whoever watching this video, you can reach out to me or Sai anytime. Okay, will make more easier our life cycle. Okay, IT life cycle. That's it. Now, almost we discussed a lot of things. Okay, what are the major components we need when you are installing SQL Server? Not everything, sir. Again, I told you, right? Not everything I discussed. Still, we need to discuss lot many. But this is again too technical concept. Okay, too technical concepts. It's very difficult to understand right away. The people who are starting career, I need to think about two kind of students. One is starting career, one is already experienced. For experienced people, bear with me some more time. You will learn a lot again. Okay, and most probably I will make this as a first my public. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Now, sir, where we are? Sorry, yeah, here. Okay, so these are the major main components we need to take care. Okay, take care. One thing, sir, we need to discuss versions. You already know we have when we go to the versions. So we are having SQL Server 7.0, SQL Server 2000, 2005, 2008, 2008 R2, 12, 14, 14, 16. There is no 15, sir. Don't get confused. There is no SQL Server 2015. 13 also no need, sir. 2012, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2019, and 2022. 2022. I hope I downloaded the 2022 as well. Yeah, 2022. SQL Server 2022. Okay, SQL Server 2022. So, which version you will get opportunity to install the SQL Server? Which version? That is very, very important, sir. Which version? Mostly uh, nowadays you will get a chance to install 19, 17, 16, and also you may also get chance to work on 2022. 16, 17, 19, 2022. No more you will get a chance to install SQL Server 2000, 2005, 2008, 2008 R2, 2012, 2014 also you may get very less, sir. Very less. Okay. So because till SQL Server 2012, Microsoft has been stopped the support. There is no more support from the Microsoft till SQL Server 2012. So you may or may not get a chance to install SQL Server 2012. You may get a chance to install SQL Server 2014 onwards. So how you are installing SQL Server 2012, 2014, 2016, 2017, almost similar, sir. Almost similar. Here and there is little bit change. What is the change we'll discuss? What is the change we'll discuss? But mostly almost same approach, whatever we discuss here, right? Almost same for every SQL Server version. What is the change we'll discuss, sir? What is the change we'll discuss? But almost whatever we discuss here, almost the same for every SQL Server installation. Version, edition, license, instance name, server name, features, location, binary file location, data files location, service account, CyberArk. Okay, so authentication mode, SA passwords. Okay, SA passwords and standalone SQL, clustered SQL, almost same, sir. Almost same for all the SQL installation. Either you are doing on 14 or 16 or 17 or 19 or 2022 or below versions. Okay, then what is the difference we'll notice, Subhumi? That I will show you, sir. Hold on. Okay, now before we go for one more concept, let me complete about edition, sir. Editions. Even, sir, when you are purchasing cars also there you will see the editions, right? Car editions. When you are purchasing your mobile also you will see basic, somewhat standard and premium. Nowadays nowadays when you are purchasing smartphone, when you are purchasing oh, are you able to hear, sir, everyone, and see my
Yes,
screen?
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. Now we are able to.
Okay, so when you are purchasing cars, when you are purchasing smartphones, you are able to see the editions, right, sir? And when you are installing operating system on your laptop, on your desktop, you will also see the standard, pro, ultimate, home editions, sir. Editions like same SQL server will also contains the editions. So if you go and search in Google, let go and ask what Microsoft is saying, sir. Okay, SQL server editions, SQL server editions. So for example, if I go to the SQL Server Edison, sir, okay, if I go to the SQL Server Edisons, so for SQL Server 2022, 2019, okay, 2017, 2016, if you specially go to every version, so we are having standard editions, sir. One is Enterprise Edition, one is Standard Edition, one is Web Edition, one is Developer Edition, one is Express Edition, one more is Evaluation Edition. Whatever we are working, right? So your evaluation edition for especially for students, sir. Students, whoever wanted to work with SQL Server, they wanted to work or they wanted to practice, they wanted to play. You are using the evaluation edition, which is compatible for 6 months. 6 months. After 6 months, this SQL instance will be expired. Again, you need to uninstall. Again, reinstall. Again you need to uninstall, again you need to reinstall. So evaluation edition will work for 6 months, sir. 6 months. Now Most of the cases we already discussed about the license. We already discussed about the license lot. Okay, so when you specially go to the Edison, sir, Edison's, uh, Edison's PDF. Let's see, sir.
Sir, you said like Microsoft has stopped support for until 2012.
Yes,
Yeah, so like I usually heard like EOL and EOS. What actually is the difference, like EOS and EOL? End of life and end of support.
so end of support. Yeah, end of life means, sir, again. So see, for example, uh, Microsoft is providing two kinds of support, sir. One is standard support. One is you can extend your support for next 5 years. Extended support. One is standard up to 5 years. Microsoft is going to support. So, for example, you install SQL Server 2012, okay, and you are facing some performance issue. You are facing some memory leakage issue. You are facing some CPU spike on something, sir, and entire your team members, your SMEs or your L3 DBS are unable to fix that issue, and you are not getting, and that issue is not moving forward, then what you will do, you can directly go to the Microsoft and create the case to the Microsoft. Any one of the Microsoft engineer will contact to you, and Microsoft start getting the inputs from you, and he start helping to you until that issue fixed. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, no? Okay,
Yes, yes.
that that's what, sir. So uh, till what time Microsoft will support you means up to maximum 10 years, sir. Every product, every version Microsoft is going to support for 10 years. More than 10 years, no, sir. Again, you need to upgrade your SQL Server to 2014 or 2016 or 2017 or 2019 or 2022, because those
So
are old
even
versions, sir.
yeah, so even premium support will also be not possible after 10 years of the version.
No, no.
Okay, okay.
Premium, see, what is premium? What is uh, normal support means? So basically, I used to work for Microsoft. I'm a Microsoft engineer. Okay, I work for 1 year. So whenever you create a case, so that will first initially we will get. So you are getting premium support. You, whenever your application, how your application team make the tie up to the Microsoft, that is very important, sir. Very important. So if you are having premium means, okay, so you will get the foreign support basically. Like we are supporting for, sir, Microsoft given lot of opportunity to multiple organization like Mindtree is one of the major support for Microsoft. Mindtree is one of the major support for Microsoft. So most of the cases, assume you are working for Wipro, you are working for IBM, you are working for Infosys, if you are working for TCS, you created a case to the case. So that case, uh, uh, if we are under our support, it will come to us, sir. Basically, we will support. They are following different shifts, EMEA shift, APAC shifts. So based on the shifts, also the ticket will route to the so-and-so organization, and these many companies will get the support only from Mindtree. So that is the internally how they make it, sir. Okay, so premium means highly support you will get it when you compare with the normal case to the Microsoft. Got you?
Yes, sir. I got it. I got it.
Yeah. Okay. So when you specially go to the Edison, sir, when you specially go to the Edison's, okay. Okay, see, sir, you are having Enterprise Edition, you are having Standard Edition, you are having Express and Web Edition, you are having Development Edition. So every, sir, Enterprise is the topmost edition where you will get unlimited CPUs, unlimited memory. All the features are compatible, sir. All the features are compatible. But when you go to the standard, okay, you are having certain limitation. Maximum you can use 24 cores. Assume in your laptop you are having 50 cores, 90 cores, 80 cores, but your SQL can use up to 24 cores only. Maximum no, no, sir. because you install SQL on standard. If you install Enterprise Edition, how many cores your SQL Windows is running, you can use all the cores for your SQL Server. But when you go to the standard, maximum you can use 24 cores, maximum you can use 128 GB of RAM to your SQL instance. Beyond, no. But enterprise, not no limitations, sir. Maximum. Along with this, there is a limitation in features as well. Features. See, if you go to the Express, maximum 16 cores you can use, maximum 64 GB RAM you can use. Along with features also very important, sir. If you scroll down, we are having lot many features. See, we are having scaling limited features, we are having rdbms high availability features, we are having scalability and performance features, we are having security features, we are having replication features, management tooling features. There are lot many features are available, sir. Okay, so for example, to explain you in a simple term, sir. Okay, td, most of the people who already experience, you know about this concept. Cores, cpu, sir. Cpu cores are nothing but cpu. Okay, cpu. Most of the people know about TDE, sir. See, in SQL Server 2017, if you go to the SQL Server 2017, if you go to the standard edition, TDE is not compatible in any one of the edition, only in enterprise. In SQL Server 2017, TDE is compatible only in enterprise edition. So, for example, if your application team is coming to and ask that, hey, I need to enable TDE. So, and he is telling that you need to install SQL Server 2017 and Standard Edition. Will TD is compatible for SQL Server 2017 Standard Edition? Yes or no? No, right? No, right?
No.
No. So, either you need to go for SQL Server 2017 Enterprise, or you can tell to your application team, why can't you go for 2019 Standard Edition so that TD is enabled for Standard Edition? See? TD is compatible for standard edition in SQL Server 2019, not in SQL Server 2017, not in SQL Server 2016, not in 14, 12, 8, 8, 8, or 2, 2000, 2005. From SQL Server 2019, TD is enabled on standard edition as well. So, what are the features they're expecting your application team, whether that is compatible in standard edition or not? First, you need to analyze here, then you can go and install, sir. Blindly don't go and install SQL Server. They will mention, sir, most of the cases they will mention everything in the ticket itself, what they are expecting from you. Based on that, you need to open this block. Okay, get the information, get the information, and tell them, hey, TD is not compatible, TD is compatible, and talk to them, get the clarified, give the clarity to them, and tell them, why can't you go for 2019 if your application is compatible, so that we can enable TDE for standard edition as well. Got you?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is, sir, this. So core limitations, one thing you will see, core limitations and futures limitations, addition to addition, sir. Okay, it's not easy to remember all this stuff. Okay, anyone remember all this stuff? No, sir. No one, maximum no one remember. But at least not everything, at least some important concept you need to remember, sir. Some important concept like TDE, always encryption, column store index, always on availability group. Couple of concepts are very important that you need to remember, sir.
Yeah, interview ask you that what is the difference between the 2019 and 20? What is the difference between enterprise and standard? So some
Here,
point we
sir.
can remember.
Get it from here, ma'am. You will get it maximum, all the information maximum Microsoft get it here.
Mhm.
Here. Every feature Microsoft highlighted here. Okay, so editions are very important, sir. Don't blindly go and install the SQL Server. So mostly, okay, 80% 80% you will install standard edition because cost, sir. Cost is very important. Until unless there is a need of enterprise edition, you will go for enterprise edition, sir. Otherwise, mostly you will go for standard edition in your real world. So couple of very rare case interview may ask a question called what are the highest edition you will use in your project? Most of the people will tell enterprise edition, sir. No, if you are using more enterprise edition, then your project need to pay more amount to your Microsoft, sir. Okay, mostly they will use standard edition. 70% they will use standard edition. Okay, 20% they will use enterprise edition. 10% they will use express edition, sir. Express
Yeah,
edition.
right.
Okay, and the developer also mostly they will use, sir. So that's what, sir. Try to understand. Almost developer is also like a enterprise only. Okay, clear? Not clear?
Is clear. Enterprise and developer is the same. मतलब what is the difference
Almost,
in both?
almost like a evaluation edition, right? We know about evaluation. It's for a
Yes, yes,
six
yes,
months.
yes.
After 6 months, it will expire. So like developer
अच्छा.
edition is also almost it will work like enterprise edition. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Now, sir, if all these points are good, okay, if all these points are good, now when you specially go to the hardware and software, okay, if you specially, so for example, you got opportunity to install SQL Server 2019 or 2022, just go and search in Google SQL Server 2019 hardware and software, hardware and software. Okay, once again. Okay, now, okay, you can go to the SQL Server 2019 hardware and software, hardware and software. Okay, scroll down. So minimum for Express Edition, you need minimum 512 GB of RAM. Minimum, sir. Minimum 512 GB of RAM. For remaining editions like Enterprise Edition, Evaluation Edition, Developer Edition, Standard Edition, Express, not Express Edition, Standard Edition, Express Edition, Evaluation Edition. For remaining all edition, you need 1 GB of RAM. 1 GB of RAM minimum. Nowadays, no one is having very low RAM on your configuration windows. Okay, mostly we are having 4 GB of RAM, 8 GB of RAM, 16 GB of RAM, 32 GB of RAM, right? So no worries on that part. But minimum 512 GB, 1 GB, sir. Make it just 1 GB of RAM. You mustn't should need and uh, and your core speed. So if you open MS Info 32, you will see how many cores my laptop is running. 4 cores with 8 logical processors. And what is the clock speed? CPU clock speed is 2.4 GB gigahertz per speed. Okay, so Microsoft is telling that okay 1.4 gigahertz speed to up to 2.0 gigahertz per speed is too good for us. Okay, mine is running with 2.4. Okay, awesome, awesome, good, right? Okay, good. Mine is good. Okay, uh, even you can install your SQL with one core of CPU, one core of CPU. Okay, so don't use one core, two core. Minimum we are going to use 4 core only nowadays. Okay, that is the best practice you should follow. But minimum one core, 1 GB of RAM with your clock speed is 2 gigahertz per clock speed. Your CPU clock speed should be 2 gigahertz per speed is the minimum hardware requirement, especially if you go to the SQL Server. And if you scroll down, you need .NET framework. That is very important, sir. .NET framework. So if you go to the control panel, if you go to the programs, if you go here, .NET framework, by default you will get .NET framework latest version on your operating system. But one more point, sir, you need .NET framework 3.5 as well. Just select this one, click on OK. Very, very important. So .NET framework 3.5 is also very, very important. .NET Framework 3.5 is also very, very important along with the latest. For every SQL Server version, .NET Framework 3.5 is mandatory. Sir, basically, okay, so basically if you go to the SQL Server, we have lot many versions, right? If you go to the SQL Server, we are having 2000, 2005, 2008, 2012, 14, 16, 17, 19, 2022. Like same, sir. Okay. So for example, okay, if you go to the here .NET framework versions versions okay, so Microsoft is enhancing .NET framework versions as well, not only your SQL Server versions, sir. See, not only your SQL Server versions like 2000, 2005, 2008, 2012, 14, 16, 17, 19, 2022. Not only Microsoft is enhancing its version, Microsoft is enhancing the .NET framework versions as well. See, sir, for example, you never get a chance to install SQL Server 2005. Assume, sir, assume you got an opportunity to install SQL Server 2005. You install SQL Server 2005. SQL 2005. So what .NET framework you need, sir? If you go here, 2005, yeah, see? Okay. So you need .NET framework 2.0. Correct, right? Yes or no? Are
Yes,
you there?
yes. Yeah. A higher version will not support.
Higher version is also support, ma'am. But minimum you need .NET framework 2.0. Sir, in LDL days, like when you are installing a product, see, if you go to
Yes,
the
yes,
SQL
yes.
Server 2005, you never see the setup file as well. Okay, if you go to the SQL Server 2005 setup file, okay, see, sir, uh, if you go to the setup file, if you go to the tools, Microsoft itself is providing .NET Framework 2.0. Are you able to see? You no need to go and
Yes.
search in Google to download .NET Framework. Microsoft directly providing .NET Framework 2.0. Whatever I told you, right? You never get a chance to install SQL Server 2005. Okay, but
Yeah.
if you get a chance to install SQL Server 2005, you need .NET Framework 2.0 along with sir, latest. Anyhow, when you are installing your Windows, you will get the latest .NET only. But you need .NET Framework 2.0. Got you?
Yeah, got it.
So what I mean to finally say is how Microsoft is enhancing. Again, you may get one doubt, sir. What is the why .NET Framework? Why SQL Server? Sir, if you open, okay, if you open, let's go to the setup file, sir. If you go to the setup file of SQL Server 2005, okay, this is how your setup file looks like. But if you go to the SQL Server 2022, for example, if I go to the SQL Server 2022, you will see very rich diagnostics in the framework. In the framework, see, let it be open, sir. 2022. This is your 2005 setup file. This is your 2022 setup file. See, sir, you are noticing rich diagnostics, the framework.
Yeah.
2005 setup file looks like this, sir. And 2012, 2008, you can also open 2008, sir. 2008. 2008. From 2008 onwards, Microsoft changed lots, sir, in the framework, especially in the framework. Okay, let it be. Come on, come on. Let me close all this stuff. Hold on, sir. It got stuck. Almost 2008 also window looks like same, sir. Okay, but you may see very less content in 2008 because Microsoft is enhancing lot from SQL Server 2008 in the form of dashboard in the frame. Okay, getting my point or not, everyone? So when you are trying to install the SQL Server, .NET framework is very very important, very very important, sir. Okay, and along with this one, along .NET, one is hardware. One is hardware. Minimum 1 GB, minimum 1 core with 2.0 gigahertz per speed. Minimum, sir. And one more is your operating system. Your operating system. Let me open 2008 also, sir. Then you will get side by side. Sir, installation won't take more time. These are all you should understand. Anyone is getting confused, sir? Anyone? Any confusion? No? Yes?
Not
This
from
is
my side.
2005. This is 2022. And this is 2008. Sir, almost same, right? See, almost you are able to see the same in 2008 and 2008, 22, right? The
Some
dashboard.
features are added in
Huh.
2020.
Yes, yes. That's what the dashboard is enhanced from 2008, sir. 8, ma'am. That's what I
Oh,
mean to say. When you
okay.
see the
Oh.
installation before 2008 or 2, before 2008, when you see from 2008, the rich enhancement done by Microsoft in the form of installation. Okay, not okay. Clear? Not clear? So you
Yeah,
need
clear.
.NET framework. You need .NET framework, and when you go to the OS, also very important. Okay, your operating system is also very important. Versions are operating. You either you are using Windows 8. See, Windows 8 is not compatible to SQL Server 2019. Windows 7 is not compatible to 2019. Windows XP is not compatible. Windows 10 is compatible. So, what operating system you are trying to install, see where you are installing SQL Server, on that server what operating system being installed, that is also one of the major prerequisites. Means one is one is .NET framework, .NET framework. One is core, CPU, memory, and storage. Okay. One is what is that? OS version is very important. And one more last, sir, Windows installer. Not only for your SQL Server, sir, if you wanted to install any tool like VLC or PUBG or any tool, if you wanted to install any tool on Windows, you need Windows installer. You need Windows installer. By default, by default you will get the Windows installer, sir. By default, once you install your operating system, by default you will get the Windows installer. You no need to worry. You no need to worry. So Windows installer is also very important component. By default, you will get it. You no need to worry. So what are the components you need, sir? .NET framework, core like CPU, memory, storage, OS along with Windows installer. By default, you will get the Windows installer. Okay, okay, not okay.
Yeah, super clear.
So these are the one of the major components you need, sir, along with whatever we discussed in the top right. Service account, editions, versions, blah 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 something. Along this also, this is definitely required, sir. Forget about all this stuff. Okay, that is when you are installing SQL Server, you will get it. But these are the minimum requirement you get it. If you and there is a shortcut, sir. There is a shortcut to open Windows installer. Sai, you remember? What is the shortcut? Sai, విండోస్ ఇన్స్టాలర్ ఓపెన్ చేయడానికి షార్ట్ కట్ ఉంది కదా ఏంటది? I forget. There is a shortcut to open Windows installer. Every time I think that see sir, even Windows installer also Microsoft is enhancing. See 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 2.0, 3.0, 3.1, 4.0, 4.5, and currently now we are under 5.0. Mostly my mission is also running 5.0. There is a shortcut Windows. What is that? Shortcut I forget. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Now, sir. See, sir, are you able to say Windows installer? What is the shortcut? MSIEXEC. Okay. Every time I should remember, but I will forget. Yeah. Are you able to say, sir? Now, currently, my mission is running with 5.0. It's good, right? My OS is Windows 10. My .NET framework, I install latest .NET framework along with the .NET 3.3. My cores are good, my RAM is good, my storage is good, along with my Windows installer is also good. Now I'm comfortable to install the SQL Server, right? Yes, no?
Yes, no.
Questions till now, sir? No, yes, comfortable, everyone? What are the prerequisites of to install the SQL Server? How the Windows looks like in 2005, 2008, and 2000 later on, sir. Later on, 2008. All the Windows looks like, but the Microsoft added lot many features apart from nothing, sir. Okay, that's it, sir. Tomorrow I can go for installation.
Okay.
Yeah, because almost everyone the first time who are seeing this one, okay, this overloaded. I think that okay, because we discuss more theoretical part. I don't want install today. Tomorrow we'll perform the installation. Tomorrow we'll discuss couple of things, and tomorrow we'll complete the SQL basic installation again, sir. I am not going for advanced installation. I just going for basic installation. Okay, please make a note down, everyone. Okay, only one request, sir. I'm just requesting everyone. The people who wants to continue, okay, just raise your hands. Most probably next 1 or 2 days, we'll make everything as a private, not public, sir. Okay, the people who wants to continue this batch, only can get the access and then can continue. Rest of the people will remove from that group. Okay, just raise your hands who wants to continue. Just ping that. Okay, I just wanted to continue. Okay, just raise your hand. Okay, yeah, thank you. See you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Subbu,
Not
Regarding
here,
that,
sir. WhatsApp group, sir. Yeah, yes, sir.
Subbu, Subbu, oh, that what do we say? In that SQL Server 2014, there is no temp DB. You'll cover in the future sessions, or
Yeah,
you'll
yeah, yeah.
cover it.
Tomorrow, sir. No, tomorrow session, sir. Tomorrow.
Okay,
That's what.
okay,
Today we discuss all external concept. Tomorrow I will go into
yes,
this concept. When we are installing, I will show you the differences. I will explain about the difference.
yeah, okay.
yes, sir. Regarding that SSIS error which we discussed earlier, you said we will upload the document or we will share it in WhatsApp.
Oh, I
Whichever
will
is.
share in the WhatsApp. I will share in the WhatsApp
Okay,
right away, sir. No worries on that part.
okay. I have to work. Yeah, it's in production
No,
we
no,
got
no,
one.
no, no worries, sir. Always
Yeah,
see, always okay. Anyhow, you will get all the document, but currently you are facing that issue, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Stop the recording.